This is Heather Ariel with House of Astrology, the energy of the month. So this month we are saying goodbye to the intense, passionate, transformative, but also a little obsessive energy of Scorpio. It was a deep month last month. Remember Venus retrograde? That was also in Scorpio. Well, okay. Now we are saying hello to, I have my visuals, the sun this month is now in the sign of Sagittarius. And as you can see on the card, it says, time to explore. Embrace your inner wanderer. Like a wild horse, you are meant to roam free. So Sagittarius is very different energy from Scorpio. It really is all about expansion, exploration. It is about freedom. And the US of A, because country has, maybe you all don't know this, but just as people have charts, countries have charts. And the ascendant for the US of A is Sagittarius. And it makes a lot of sense because when you think of what's the word that we associate more than any other word with the US, and that's freedom, the importance of freedom, manifest destiny, that kind of idea. So it is because also, oh, I've got my card, okay. Whoa, ninth house. It is connected to the ninth house, which rules long distance travel, higher learning, philosophy. It's the house of publicity, so it's also rules publishing and, you know, and it can incorporate teaching and lecturing and even theater. But that really means when the sun is in Sag, and it doesn't matter, you may say, well, I don't have any Sag in my chart. It doesn't matter. When the sun is in Sagittarius, you can take advantage of Sagittarius energy. And that means find a way to stretch yourself, to broaden your horizons. If you can go on a trip, that's great. But if not, get a good book. Go somewhere mentally. Just have a new experience where you're exposed to a new culture, people who don't speak your language because it rules of foreign destinations. Go have some foreign food you've never had before. Stretch yourself. Stretch yourself. Now, it is also, it's fun energy. My daddy was a Sag, and he was, as a lot of Sages are, the life of the party. You could hear him laughing a mile away, basically. He loved to go to the track, loved to party. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, so we have Churchill Downs there. So this month, find your joy. Find your joy. There, you know, Sagittarius energy is playful, it's fun, and a lot of why? Well, okay, two reasons. Because it is a fire sign and Jupiter. So because it's a fire sign, anytime there's fire going on, fire is so active, it makes things happen. It's that spark. So when you say somebody lights up the room, well, that Sagittarius spark can really help that along. It's active, dynamic, enthusiastic. And then there's Jupiter. Jupiter is optimistic. There's a buoyancy that Jupiter brings when it touches your chart or when it touches, because it's connected to Sag. So Sagittarius energy along with Jupiter, there's a buoyancy and optimism. Embrace it. Now, it can also, if we get a little too much of it, then we get overconfident and we can become out of balance and we become a little arrogant, a little cocky, and we think we can do, you know, oh, I can climb that mountain without any preparation. So I want you to have confidence and celebrate, be optimistic this month, pursue your goals, but you know, do it in a, you know, realistic way. You know, make sure that you're still crossing your T's and dotting your I's, because sometimes we lose details. Sagittarius is so much about the big picture. We do miss details, so I don't want you to miss any of those. Now, this month, oh boy, we've had so many retrogrades. June and July, Mars retrograde. We just got out of a Venus retrograde. Well, okay, so now we are in a Mercury retrograde several times a year. Mercury appears to move backwards in the sky, and long lists pop up everywhere, basically scaring everybody half to death. Don't worry about that. follow my rule. My rule is the RE rule. If you can RE it, you can do it during a retrograde. So it is a reflective time to rethink, recalibrate, rejuvenate, do some research, reunite with some old friends, return to a place that you've been. And because it's Mercury, and this time, Mercury, I should have said this, Mercury retrograde is in the sign of Sagittarius just as the Sun. So we've got both Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius. Now, Mercury in general is all about communication. It's about the way we think, the way we process information. And Sagittarius, it does rule, as I've said, the ninth house of publishing and writing. So Sag, even though Sag doesn't directly rule communication, it really does have a lot to do about receiving messages and about ways of processing information and communicating. So that is, if you're going to be reflective and rethink anything that you've written, whether you want to rewrite a letter, rewrite an actual play or a lecture, or just rethink a plan, that's the ideal way to use Mercury retrograde. And then once energy goes direct around December 6th, then you can start to implement some of these new ideas. So this month with Sagittarius, find your joy, celebrate, and I think of the J.R.R. Tolkien quote, "All who wander are not lost. Find a way to stretch yourself, explore, either through a good book or through an exciting trip or through an exciting meal." But find your joy, explore, and expand while the Sun is in Sagittarius. And this is Heather Ariel with House of Astrology's Energy of the Month.